Hey, so today I thought that we would make some bread. So the first step to making bread is to gather all of your ingredients and you're gonna put them in this bowl. The second step is you're gonna mix everything together in the bowl. The third step is that you're gonna wait. You have to be really patient when you're making bread because it has to sit for a really long time. The fourth step is that we're going to bake it after we put it into a pan. And then the fifth step is you get to enjoy it. For this bread recipe, we're going to need 3 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of dry yeast, and then 1.5 cups of warm water. So we'll scoop it and we're gonna level it out so it's just 1 cup, and then we'll dump it in. That's 1. Then we're gonna add the 1 teaspoon of salt and the half a teaspoon of yeast. And this makes the bread rise, so it's fluffy. Next, we're going to add our 1.5 cups of warm water. You wanna make sure it's warm. Next, you're gonna wanna use a wooden spoon and you're gonna mix it all up. And it's gonna look like a big, sticky, gloopy mess. Do you see how it's really sticky? And it doesn't look like bread? That's what it's supposed to look like. So if it looks really messy, then you're doing it right. Next, we're going to cover it with plastic wrap. And then you're going to put it somewhere that it can rest. And you're gonna leave it there for 8 to 24 hours. And after 8 to 24 hours passes, then we're gonna be able to bake it. Okay, so it's been 8 hours and our bread is all bubbly, and so it's ready to bake. And so the first thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna preheat your oven to 450 degrees. And while it's preheating, you're gonna get whatever kind of pan that you're gonna bake your bread in, and you're gonna put it in there so it can get warm. And so I use this big pan, pot thing. I don't know what it's called. But you can use any kind of pan, or like if you have a crock pot, you can use the pot of that, but you just wanna make sure to preheat it in your oven first, because if not, if it gets too hot, it might break. So I have a piece of parchment paper out here, and I'm gonna cover it in flour really well because the bread is really sticky, and I don't want it to stick to the paper. Next, you're gonna get your bread, and you're gonna dump it and scrape it out of the bowl onto your floured surface. So next, what you're gonna do is you're gonna pick an end of your bread and you're going to fold it in onto the other side. So you're just gonna keep doing that and it'll make a ball because it's really sticky, and you want the sticky side on the inside and the floury side on the outside. And then ask a parent to help you, and you're gonna flip it over like that. So next, you can wait if you want for 30 minutes, and that'll let the bread rise a little bit and it'll be fluffier. Sometimes I wait 30 minutes, sometimes I don't. Today I'm not going to. And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna have your adult help you get your hot pot out of the oven. And then what you guys are both gonna do is pick up your parchment paper and put it right in the pot. So next, you're gonna pop it in the oven, and it's going to cook for 30 minutes with a lid on top. And then after the 30 minutes is up, you're gonna take the lid off, and then it's going to cook for 15 minutes. While we're waiting for our bread to finish baking, I thought that it'd be fun if we made some homemade butter. So all you're going to need is some kind of jar and some heavy whipping cream. And if you have a marble at home, it makes making butter way faster. I don't have one, so I'm not gonna use it, but if you do, you can just put it in the jar. So the first step is to add heavy whipping cream to your jar. The second step is to add your marble if you have it, but because I don't, I'm not going to. Then you're gonna put your lid on and you're gonna shake it. So you're going to shake it until you hear that there's a bunch of liquid and then there's something else hard in it, and that's gonna be your butter, and the liquid is buttermilk. So you're gonna wanna drain the buttermilk into something else, and you can use it for different recipes. And then the butter, the hard part, is gonna go into a jar, and you can see it. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna rinse it with cold water and drain that after you form it into a ball with your hands. So you can form the butter into a ball with your hands and plop it back in the water, and you're gonna drain it, and it's gonna be kind of white, and you're gonna keep doing that until the water is clear and you're just getting all the buttermilk off of your butter. And now that the water runs clear, all the buttermilk is off of it, and so we can put it in a container and put it in the refrigerator, and you have homemade butter for your bread.